Hey there everyone, Luke here. Now, once again, apologise for this review being out a couple of days late. It's just work's been constant throughout the weekend and during the week currently, but I've got some time now. Now, a few things I want to talk about before I get into the chapter. First of all, just going to say big congratulations to my sister on getting engaged. Yep, so I'm going to be a brother-in-law in a couple of years' time. And no, I'm not going to turn into Kyoichiro. The guy she's got, really great guy. Have no wishing them nothing but the best. But yeah, so it's so what was it going to be? Is that are we going to get superpowers? But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So congratulations to my sister and her fiance now. Like I said, hope for the best for them too. But the big thing for me is yes. My latest book, Controlled Isolation, is now out on Amazon in paperback and ebook. So I'll link that in the description when we get a chance. But yeah, really loved writing that book, and I've got plans for other books in the future. But for now, let's get into the chapter. Alright, so this will be chapter 187, titled Uncle Kyoichiro Wants to Be Loved. Now, with that chapter title, you're expecting some creepy stuff, and we do, but at the same time, credit where credit's due to Alfred Hifumi. They do love him deep down, even if he's like a bit, you gotta keep away from him. And this would be so much easier, Kyoichiro, if you had honestly changed and weren't always trying to kill Tayo. You kind of brought this on yourself, because if you hadn't tried to kill Tayo with Leviathan, you wouldn't be in this situation, but you reap what you sow. So anyway, with this chapter, it's pretty much just more of a slice of life chapter, whilst also I've had to the plot, because we see some things here that makes us question how strong Kyoichiro actually is, and we'll get into it. But yeah, it starts off with from the end of the last chapter, where we have where we had Kyoichiro saying, "Okay, so you're gonna find Uncle Nano, you've got to find the routes to get to him, and after that, him and me will give you your stamps." So. And that's what Hifumi reiterates. But as the second she starts reiterating, it's like, okay, we're gonna find Uncle Nano. She easily gets distracted by a snack bar, with Kyoichiro just observing in the background and going, yes, this is everything going according to plan here. They're gonna think that they're gonna find the special guide, but of course I'm gonna try and guide them. Try and guide them this way. So he says, Nano is at Dr. Mozo's research lab. Only special guides know the route, and finding that guide is difficult to search, even for a silver expert. So very interesting how we're getting like the world building here of like, okay, this is what this task entails. This is like beyond a silver rank spy, or at the level of maybe it would be a case of like this would be a task of to get your silver rank license, or just like the one stage of a gold rank license exam. So anyway, he says, despite how talented the kids are, it'll still be difficult for them, as we have Hifumi just going around to everyone being like, Mr. Officer, do you know where the guide is? And just basically no one having any idea what they're talking about. And even Elvis, like, if they did, that would be bad. Spies work in the underworld. Also, stop asking in Japanese codes. To them, it's like, to them, these police officers having this go to them, excuse me, do you know where the guy is? But actually saying it in Japanese, they'll probably be like, what is this girl going on about here? But yeah, this is where Kyoichiro's just like, okay, now that they've got this all set up, this is where I'll come in. Fortunately, I have an idea of the city guide and where they actually are. So all I need to do is gently nudge them in the right direction, and then they'll be able to say to me, it was all because of me. It was all because of Uncle Kyoichiro. As he goes over over the statistics by saying, if the needs arise, I'll give them a little coded message, perhaps sprinkle some hints into our conversation. I'll take care of all the bounty hunters who undoubtedly spring from the woodworks too. Oh, I've even practiced wearing an umbrella just in case it rains this afternoon. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be raining in the way you imagine, Kyoichiro. I feel like it's going to be raining a lot of, well, no, it's probably good, well, no. What it is that it's not going to be raining in the traditional sense. It's going to be raining in what Kyoichiro actually imagines, which is blood, miles and miles of blood. But yeah, basically what Kyoichiro's doing is like, that's cute. They're going around trying to find the spy, trying to find the guy to get to Dr. Moses' lab. When in actuality, I know exactly where the spy is. I've known this route, and yeah, I'm just gonna nudge them in the right direction, and then say to them, I'll show them how kind and dependable I am, and they'll nurture me, and they'll naturally come to look up to me from the bottom of their sweet little hearts. And this all after they found the guide, and then they'll say, "We're happier with you. We don't care about Papa anymore." And you just see this imagination in Kyoichiro's head of him using what I assume is his void blooming to get rid of Tayo completely from this world. Okay, Kyoichiro, like I said, you want to be loved, but you do exactly realise what happened the last time you tried to get rid of Tayo. Hifumi nearly went berserker blooming on you. You really think that's gonna change just because you did this one nice thing for them? Well, yeah, he probably does figure that, but yeah, seriously, Kyoichiro, this is why you need to change. So as Kyoichiro's imagination gets way out of hand, we call over to Tayo, who's just like having an aura of just like, oh crap, what is actually going on here? I'm somehow getting the shivers and I don't know why. As Muse is just like, hey, do you want the Yozakura? But there's like, no! Nobody wants that soup anymore. But we then come back to Hifumi and Alpha looking around everywhere as Kyoichiro's like, okay, maybe I should start making my way here of nudging him in the right direction. Oh my god, I love this. Like his mind is just like, hey, his voice is just like, hey, Alpha, Hifumi, and his mind is just like, yeah, go, Kyoichiro. It's like a chiller, like, go, Kyoichiro, show them what you can do, show them that this is how an elite gold rank spy operates, and guide them naturally. But of course, his idea of natural is just to send off this creepy aura projecting over them, as even his glove is just like almost like a manipulative puppet master right here, and say, I have a feeling the guide might be he's trying to sound natural. It's like, I have a feeling the guide might be that way, come with me and I'll take, but it's more like I have a feeling where the guide might be, but he's trying to make it sound like not creepy, but it's making it even more creepy. And Hifumi was just like, oh, go away, Uncle, you're stinky. As we have what might be the most original panel in this entire series, where Kyoichiro's just drawn in a completely different style. Its brain is obviously turned to mush, and he instantly just like it's just like down on the ground instantly, completely passed out, and he feels just like, what is he doing? Is he okay? He's just starting over there and twitching as Alpha is messing about with his watch. It's like, yeah, maybe we're to, sorry, Uncle, but let's just pay no attention to it. As we get Alpha basically goading Hifumi to be like, okay, if Uncle tries to get creepy with us, just time you're stinky, and then that will get him off our chest, and then we can actually focus on the mission. And Hifumi was just like in the flashback, just like, that's not really going to work. And then now she's seeing it, it's like, oh my god, it actually worked. Before Alpha says, oh, grown-ups get that way, I kind of feel bad about it now, but we can at least focus on what we need to do without any distractions. And of course, Kyoichiro, after failing this notion, is just like, I don't know what to do. this is where the power of my best sister ever is going to activate here, as we have here Kyoichiro and Mutsume having a conversation of how to deal with Alpha and Hifumi, but more so how Kyoichiro can actually be a proper uncle to them without them seemingly to think of him as creepy, even though, let's be honest, even after this chapter, they're still probably going to think of him as creepy. But Mutsume says, Kyoichiro, are you having fun with the twins? And Kyoichiro's just here like, Mutsume, I'm not stinky, am I? Do I smell enough to drive someone away? At least it's the stench of death from my many missions. Like, he's just thinking about what Hifumi said, and it's just like getting to it. Just like, I'm not stinky, am I? It was the stench of death and everything. Do I smell? Am I using cold? Am I using deodorant? Right? And Musume's just like, what? Okay, listen, Kyoichiro, calm down. Just tell me everything from the beginning. And yeah, and I love this panel here because you have Musume saying to him, "I bet you were meddling Alpha's thoughts on his feet and get." I bet you were. Yeah, I bet you were meddling Alpha for on his feet, getting them some space, and Kyoichiro's just like, yes, Alpha, he's just so clever. I'm still devastated, but he's so smart. But why would he have to go that far to deny me? And he's just lying on the floor. He's like not even go up, and you have just these people around him just being like, I honestly want to imagine what these people are thinking, because from what we see in a few minutes time, it seems like a lot of them are spies, and they're probably just thinking like, why is Kyoichiro Yozakura? Because people are obviously going to know the Yozakura family. It's like got a wanted post and everything. It's probably well known throughout the world now. So they're probably going to be like, right, we need to get those Yozakuras. Oh, there's one right here lying on the ground. Like, this is kind of awkward. What do we do? Like, why is he on the phone? Why isn't he paying attention to the fact that there's like a dozen of us right around him? But of course, Kyoichiro is in no real danger because it's obviously been established that he's the stronger Yozakura. So he can get out of this. He can have a conversation on the phone. People looking at him like confused, like, do we attack him or do we just leave him be? But he continues on by saying, like, I just hit on the true mission of the Yozakura to take advantage of this chance to make them adore me. As Mitsubi's like, okay, don't put the family name on your self-centered plot personally. Like, she knows he's just being like so egotistical here of like, yeah, don't be putting our family's plot on your own personal vendettas here. Before Creature's like, look, am I really that bad? I just love those two. Why doesn't anything work? And then Musume's just like, fine. If you want my advice, here it is. I'll give you it. Don't do anything for them. Manage that, and I'm sure they'll come to like. So like, basically, like, don't interfere with them. Just sit back, be the support for once. Don't be trying to take the center stage like you're always doing, because that's the thing with Kyoichiro. It's like, oh, you think you're gonna take? Nope, I'm gonna come in and swoop in and just show off my badnesses because I'm the best Yozakura, I'm the oldest Yozakura, and everybody should know it. But Musume's like, look, in this situation, let them do the mission. Let them do what you've set them out to do. And no hints, no guidance. Just watch them over. Don't be too close or too far. Just keep them a quiet eye on them. If you can do that, I'm sure they'll respond. And of course, he's just thinking about how he would be the best uncle in the world. But yeah, like I said, Kyoichiro at this point was in no real danger, because after this conversation, he's just like, oh, these people were going to attack me. Okay, I'm just going to tie them all up with a steel spider, as he's still having the conversation with Mutsumi on the phone here. It's just like, yeah, I feel uneasy at the thought of doing nothing, of course, but these don't even count as enemies. They're monks, not even worth killing. I doubt these manga effects will be to win their affection. As Mutsumi, even though she's like hearing all of this in the background, she has no idea what's going on. She's like, oh, I'm sure they'll take care. They'll take care of any enemies that get too close to you. That's more than enough. But if that's what you suggest Mutsumi, then I'm sure it's great. I'll give it a try. So Kyoichiro is actually willing to try out in Mutsumi's suggestion, and he'll hold back and watch, not too close, too far. Before Mutsumi's like, yeah, good. By the way, by the way, you have to be far enough away from them so that they can't see where he's like, when you say not too close to them, I assume you just mean not too far enough that they can't feel moving. Like, no, far enough away so they can't see. And Creed just like you just see the, just like, God damn it, do I have to do this? Ugh. Fine, I'll do it. I'll hold back, which he starts to do, as we see various incidences where he's going around, despite even Musume saying to him like, don't interfere in any way, not even attacking people, like, let them deal with this. But of course, Kyoichiro being Kyoichiro, just like, no, I'm going to attack them anyway, even though my sister is telling me not to. I'm just going to support them in this way, which, yeah, fair enough. He has to do something. Like, Kyoichiro's not the kind of guy to just be like, no, I've got to do something. As he goes over his thoughts, which is like, excellently done. In this short time, they've already realised the most spy-associated members and info brokers in Paris take cover in the food industry. They're hitting each potential location in the 20th. This is the 20th one that they're actually in, as they're going to the Moulin Rouge. No, I'm not going to do it. Not going to make a reference to that film. Somebody else can make the reference to Moulin Rouge. Like, screw it. Are they going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi? Okay, that's my only reference I'm going to make to it. But they go into this restaurant or cafe or whatever it is, as they order some macaroons, and it's established like what Alpha says here is like 100 Oisiu's macaroons, which is in French for birds, and in Japanese 100 birds can be read as Mozu. This is one of so it's a code to be like, hey, do you know where Dr. Mozu is? As you see Kyoichiro just on the wall, like, probably photobomb it, probably in a pose of like he's ready to photobomb it, as he has the Eiffel Tower around his face as some sort of like disguise, even though people are going to be like, why has this guy got the Eiffel Tower around his face? As the clerk around the counter is like, of course, here you go. And 33 Riedel Champs de Mars, say hello to the guy for it. So like, he's basically saying like, okay, this is where the guide is, and just say hello to them. As Kyoichiro, Alpha, and Hiyofumi actually managed to find the guide, and it's not this was something that I was not expecting. It just has further questions, which we'll get into in a minute. So as they approach the position where the store clerk actually instructs them to go, we see it's actually a woman there, and at first they're just like, oh, this has to be the guide that we're going to be following, and Creature's just like, nope, it's not, because this is actually the guide. It's actually the legendary Solitude spy Kimino, who happens to be a cat. So she's one of the spies hired by Mozu to be a guide, and this is where Alpha is just having so many questions here, like, how is a cat a spy? Wait, does that mean Goliath's a spy? I mean, I guess he is. Before we see the cat, before we have Creature saying, you'll see soon enough, but for now, for celebration of your first lesson, you've actually found the guide. Let's have ourselves some tea. As we see the cat just flip off this whole banquet and just typing away on a panel, so that it's actually translating what it actually wants to say, instead of being like meow 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 meow. It's like, okay, this is what it's actually saying. Whereas Creature Spade's like, she's been pals with Goliath for so wait, is this cat and Goliath immortal? Like, seriously, is that even ever going to be addressed? Yeah, even here, Alpha is just like, how old is this actual cat as well? Because what's a cat? Like, okay, I can't look it up now, but I think like, okay, my cat was 18. Basically, it'll be like 18 would be Maisie was 19 when she died, so that would be like 96. 20 would be 100, so I mean, I guess like 30 would be like 120, so, something like, basically very, very old for a cat. As we as we have the cat basically explained, transport has been arranged, and we will leave tomorrow. Understood? Will you stay here? Will you stay here the night? Before Creature's just like, okay, no, but thanks for this. I've already booked a hotel. And this is where the cat's like, okay, I'm going to leave you. It's dinner time for me to go. And Hirofumi starts leaning on Creature just falling asleep, and he just freezes up here. Kind of like the moment in the second season of Love is War, Kaguya-sama Love is War, when Shirogane leaned on Kaguya, and she was just frozen for like about a whole hour of just not doing anything. Creature's in this exact position. He's just like, Alpha, Hirofumi's leaning on me, and I have so many emotions I don't know how to deal with it. Before Alpha goes on and says like, oh, she's been snacking all treats all day. When she's that full, she'll sleep on anybody's snack, regardless of who it is. Which I can only imagine the second Hirofumi wakes up, she's going to be absolutely mortified, given her past interactions with Kyoichiro. But this is where we actually get some interesting flashbacks from Alpha's perspective of, as he says, I'm sorry I told Hirofumi to say what she did. Your aunt's thinking, oh, I knew you didn't mean it, because mostly because mother told us, and having you hovering over us this whole time was creeping us out. We just wanted you to back off. That's all we wanted to do. Like, you are not natural when it comes to being like pleasant. You are just like the creepiest person. So like, you need to back off sometimes. It's not that we were honestly thinking you were stinky or anything. Aside from Mama and Papa, your scent is one of the first I remember. And this way, like, ideas get clicking. Like, wait a second, you're kidding? Like, you actually remember from back then who I really am, as we get a flashback where we have Kyoichiro actually being asked after Mitsumi gave birth to Alpha, and Hirofumi was actually asking the maid that was with them to, hey, can I see these two, because it's my first time. I guarantee it's like he was the most excited there he's been in a while, because he was like being an uncle for the first time, and Alpha remembers it wasn't long after we were born, we were napping, but someone came and picked us up, and it was actually Kyoichiro that did it. Like, probably after Mutsumi and Tayo, he was probably the first person that actually picked them up. Like, well, the third person in their lives that actually was able to hold them when they were kids, which is quite interesting there, but makes perfect sense that this would fit in line with Kyoichiro's character, and also gives the notion like, yeah, he's been watching Tayo and Mutsumi all this time. Like I said, I could just imagine when the second that Kyoichiro found out that Mutsumi was pregnant, he probably had a Tayo punch bag like, Tayo, thanks for making me an uncle, but still, why would you do that to my sister? Like, he was probably like doing all kinds of things to just a Tayo punch bag just to vent some rage of Tayo actually doing it with his sister. And Kyoichiro's just like, that's Mutsumi for you. That's Mutsumi for you. She was exactly correct. As Kyoichiro, as Alpha says, you could be really gross at times, but that scent, I've liked it. I've always liked it. He gives off Kyoichiro. Yes, he is creepy, but he's obviously throughout the series giving off the vibe like, no matter what, it will be like the scent that Alpha is feeling, like a sense of like, no matter where we are, what is happening in the world, you will always be protecting us, even if it's at the cost of your life. And Kyoichiro even agrees with this, as we see him pick up Hirofumi and Alpha, scoop them up, as he says like, oh, there's rain coming, so I'll get my umbrella. You have about 20 or so bounty hunters coming his way, as we have one of them saying, you think you can take us all on while carrying those two? Are you going to let them get sliced up along with? Before Kyoichiro just walks past these bounty hunters, you see Steel Spider getting around all of them, as he cockily says, right now I'm in an extremely good mood. So in respect for you, for your astonishing presence, I'll do for you the favour of considering you an enemy. So you get the impression that he doesn't really view a lot of people as like worthy opponents. But now that he's in an extremely good mood, he's finally understood like what it means to be an uncle to Hifumi and Alpha, stepping back when it needs to be, but then stepping into the forefront when the situation calls it, and also not being creepy, even though, let's be honest, he is going to be that. Like I said before, he is actually still going to be the creepy Kyoichiro, but at the same time, I would like Kyoichiro to just mellow out and be like, okay, yeah, maybe I have been a bit too creepy and I've got to find a different way of expressing my gratitude without coming across as creepy, but it's going to take a lot of time, yeah. But yeah, he uses Steel Spider in just such a way that we've never seen it before. Like, he just walks past them, Steel Spider comes around and just obliterates them in an instant, just like a guy's blood, like, which showcases just that he has been trained with Steel Spider to do new techniques. But it begs the question, how strong is Kyoichiro now at this point? Is he like, if we're going to compare it to something, is he like on Dongai Ichigo level from Bleach, if he or maybe Muget's Ichigo? Is he that strong? Like, I don't like to do power scaling, but seriously, this has got me begging, like, how strong he actually is. But as he obliterates all these spiders, we have here Alpha waking up, just being like, Uncle, what's going on? And Kyoichiro's like, oh no, the rain has picked up again. It's not that far to the hotel. Go back to sleep. And that's where the chapter is, with Kyoichiro walking away with Alpha and Hifumi. Rain pouring everywhere. Probably some blood as well, as we have just the corpses of all these bodyguards, all these bounty hunters behind them. And that's where the chapter ends. So, like I said, nothing much sustainable with this chapter, just a nice decent slice of life moment, but we've got the guide now and we know where the next step of the mission is going to be. We're going to be following this cat guide who wouldn't surprise me if they're actually human. Like, that actually wouldn't surprise me that Narano or Mosu developed a drug where this cat was actually a human and uses some technique to switch back and forth from being a human to being a cat. That, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case with this cat, and how it explains how old they actually are. But it doesn't explain Goliath unless Goliath is a human. That's entirely a possibility as well, although it seems very unlikely because we would have found out about that now. Now, again, like I said, this begs the question: how strong is Kyoichiro at this point to be able to do what he did in Shut, to just walk past Steel Spider appear, like, it's not even, we don't even see it. It's like it's a blink of just being like, you have Kyoichiro walking up to them. This guy is standing there like, if you think we're gonna let you go past, you've got enough think, and then just Steel Spider's on his face, and then just dead. Like, again, like, what is this? Is it just coming like Steel Spider slice and dice? Is that what he's going to call this technique? Which, hey, pretty much establishes what he is on the tin, slice and dice in these people. But my God, if Kyoichiro is this strong as at this point to just be like a blink and you miss it Steel Spider, imagine like how strong and how powerful Asa and potentially his followers are going to be. But that's what remains to be seen. And like I said, this arc will probably go on. I wouldn't be surprised if this arc goes on for the rest of the year. Like, we end this year with them finding Nano and Mosu and getting the Kyoichiro and Nano stamps. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how we end the year, or if that's how we end chapter 200. Like, that wouldn't surprise me in any way. But what did you guys think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.